This particular Range Rover Sport, which of course is a 2014 facelift model, an Autobiography no less, which of course is the most in-demand model we have, in dynamic trim, with also the most sought-after engine for one of these, incidentally, the 4.4-litre SDV8, may well be the only one which we've featured in our Prestige collection in this particular colour. And although the idea of a silver Range Rover doesn't sound anything outlandish, this particular tone of silver, an almost iridescent or pearlescent Aleutian silver, is an absolutely incredible looking machine, and this really is one of those occasions where we would say you have to see the car in person. It looks absolutely stunning. Equally stunning, of course, is its interior, as all Range Rovers of this generation are. It's a beautiful place to be with ivory and ebony leather, and despite being a 2014 in a very, very high spec, with a rare colour and with 18,000 less miles than the average for one of these from this year on the market, at barely over 70,000, it is still under £20,000. And in addition to that mileage, it has a full Land Rover and specialist service history behind it. In fact, it was most recently serviced in July of this year, and of course, being an Autobiography, it is very, very well equipped indeed, including, but of course not limited to, that lovely panoramic roof, 22-inch factory alloys, reverse camera and parking sensors as well, of course heated and cooling seats, heated steering wheel as well, a 19-speaker Meridian sound system, soft closing doors, of course that power opening and closing boot lid, adaptive cruise control, touchscreen display, Bluetooth, auxiliary, and both front and rear USB connectivity, and of course, triple zone climate control. The list just goes on and on when it comes to how well spec'd these Autobiographies are, but to go back to that engine, the reason why people love the 4.4-litre more than pretty much any other engine in this particular generation is because of how perfectly it blends practicality with performance. On the one hand, you have a 330 horsepower output with a colossal amount of pulling power, 550 foot-pounds of torque. That is quite literally more low-end pulling power than a twin-turbo W12 6-litre Bentley, which is incredible in comparison. At the same time though, unlike a Bentley, and certainly unlike most luxury cars for that matter, you can average, despite being a full-size Range Rover with acres of room inside, up to 32 to the gallon, and of course on a motorway run, where a vehicle like this really comes into its own, as high as 37. So across the board, it's well-spec'd, it's powerful, the performance is shockingly good when you put your foot down, the economy is much better than you would think a Range Rover could be, but of course the real name of the game with a Range Rover is luxury, ride quality, and space. And this car has all three of those in ample supply, that's for sure. In, as we mentioned, a gorgeous choice of colour. Certainly if this is a colour you would choose, you are likely to not see another one around anytime soon, and for under £20,000, well, it is both literally and figuratively a huge amount of vehicle for the money. So of course, if you are on the market for an Autobiography Range Rover Sport, such as this one, of course you could reach out regarding it via the email address shown here on screen, or of course give us a call on 01749 871 155, or on our mobile number of 07482 267 439.